the springing of the year, let the heart find loving glow, spread their welcome far and near. When the sweet rain showers come, chill the springing of the year, birds will sing and seas will hum, hallelujah, time is here.
Good morning. My name is Nicolette Chasse, and I am a member of the Worship and Music Committee. My pronouns are she and they. Welcome to our virtual service with the First Parish Plymouth congregation. The first part of our service is recorded. Following the benediction, the recording will end. We will then go into candles of joy and concern. This section is not recorded. This service, as all of our services, will be posted on our Facebook page as well as on YouTube. Our service today is entitled Persephone Rising and is presented by Jenn, Kanz-Eaton, Alana, Dery, and myself. Our technical director is Paul Melville. Today's rite is celebrating the spring equinox, which was yesterday. The spring equinox in some traditions is also called Ostara or Ostara. We hope you stay for our virtual coffee hour after the service. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever you believe, wherever you are on your journey, let us walk together this hour. Our call to worship today is called Our Souls Speak Spring by Evan Carville Zemer. If we lived in another climate, our souls might speak other languages. We might speak oasis or permafrost, dry season or monsoon. Our souls speak spring. Our souls speak green shoots pushing through last year's leaves. Our souls speak flower buds stretching to sun. Our souls speak mud puddle and nest building, damp earth and worm castings, tiny green leaves and frog choruses. We speak spring because spring sings in us. We gather to nurture our faith in our own growth, our own courage to push through, our own blossoming in beauty, our own small part in the spring of this world. Come, let us worship together.
Now for our chalice lighting. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, to speak the truth in love, and to help one another. I just have one thing that I want to share with you before we start our service. A little instruction for the folks who are new to pagan ritual, and a reminder for the old lags. There are a few ritual phrases that whenever you hear someone say it, please repeat. Hail and welcome, hail and farewell, blessed be. And when we finish, we will say together, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.
The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. the earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, return, 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 return.
And now for the calling of the quarters. Powers of the east, element of air, your breeze caresses and refreshes us and spreads the sweet sense of spring blossoms. Come to this circle to bring us inspiration and wisdom. Hail and welcome.
Hail and
Hail and welcome.
Powers of the south, element of fire, your warmth heralds the oncoming summer, and you give energy to everything that lives and grows. Come to this circle, bring us your vitality and passion. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome. Powers of the west, element of water, your tides flow through us with every heartbeat, and your spring rains soak the fields to help the seeds sprout. Come to this circle to bring us emotion and intuition. Hail and welcome.
Hail and
Hail.
welcome.
And welcome. Powers of the north, element of earth, your solid form is your constant support, and you provide nutrients to questing roots and grow the food on which we depend. Come to the circle to bring us strength and nurturing. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
And welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Sing to me of the maid with crocuses in her hair and pomegranate on her tongue. Sing to me of Kore, who spends her sunlit days dancing in fields with Athene and Artemis. Sing to me of the Iron Queen, who spends her dark-filled days as a queen who is as cruel as she is kind. Sing to me of Persephone, who is life and death in equal share, and walks both above and below. Sing to me of the goddess, who rules as her husband's equal, respected, loved, and feared by all.
How to live after death. Demeter's dilemma. The story of Demeter and Persephone is one for the seasons. Literally, how we view their myth correlates to our perceptions on the turning of the year and periods of instability. Most notably, giving us lessons in resilience, love, and cultivating light to all we encounter. Are we apprehensive of the darkening evenings in the fall, foretelling of barbecues giving way to snowfalls, mourning how the leaves are falling along with the temperatures? Or do we dread the calm, dark stillness of the winter that forces us inward, both physically and metaphorically? Do we become desperate as the snow melts to race outside and to feel the warming rays of the sun upon our faces once again? Or can we learn to embrace the challenges of the squelchy earth that reminds mindful care to tend to the fallow garden beds and nurture the new shoots of life? Demeter and Persephone have stories so entwined, their images are nearly indistinguishable and referred to as the goddesses. Persephone is the maiden form of the Earth Mother, or Demeter. Together, they implore us to look at both the easy and the hard blessings of the turning of the seasons. Persephone, stolen by her uncle Hades, in spite of being in the foreign scape of the underworld, she reinvents herself. She innately brought life and light to a place that caused so many lost souls and anxiety when she could have easily been consumed with feelings of remorse. Persephone had to process her trauma while ruling and nurturing those who were experiencing the unfathomable pain of being permanently separated from all they loved in life. Demeter, upon Persephone's abduction, faced a rush of complex emotions. Her truest love was stolen by one of her brothers, with the direct knowledge of her other brother, Persephone's father. As any mother would, She experienced all-consuming concern, worry, and grief for her daughter. Grief so deep and profound, it caused all life to pause. The sad confusion gave rise to righteous anger at the depths of her brother's betrayal. Where many see pain and trauma misplaced, the Eleusinian traditions compel us to see resolve. How Demeter had to learn to make the best of her new circumstance, of which she had little control. Instead of destroying all life, she embedded the soil with seeds. Demeter walked the land trying to work through her pain by interacting with humanity and helping when she could. Yet, her help was one of guidance, not salvation. Similar to how Persephone brings light to the underworld, Demeter shows that even in death, there is hope of new life. Upon reuniting mother and daughter once again, can embrace their more visible elements of vibrant life. Flora once again flourishes in the warmth of the sun's rays, and humanity rejoices at the return of the period of bountiful beauty and nourishment. However, due to the pomegranate seeds that Persephone consumed, she must again return to the underworld. Again, the separation is hard on the goddesses, but this time there is more understanding all around. Though it is painful, it is not nearly as traumatizing for Persephone or Demeter. Instead, there are more gradual transitions between the time of want and the time of plenty. Each goddess knows now the secret of bringing life to death, honoring how death is not a finality, but a way of allowing new opportunities to take root and blossom. Death is never the end, but always a door opening into a new beginning. We as Unitarian Universalists heed this message by bravely embracing the shades of gray in our life, celebrating the spiritual mysteries around us, like the crocus bursting forth from snowy garden beds, or even in the darkest of nights, the moon and stars providing us light to cast out our shadows. May we radiate this lesson of resilience, love, and light to all we encounter.
When the daffodils arrive in the Easter of the year, and the spirit starts to thrive, let the heart beat free and clear. When the pussy willows bloom in the springing of the year, let the heart find loving room, spread their welcome far and near. When the sweet rain showers come in the greening of the year, birds will sing and bees will hum. Alleluia, time is here.
There are so many faces of Persephone. She is seen as daughter, maiden, victim, consort, and queen, both terrible and benevolent. Today we have been touching on her many different aspects, but the one I want to focus on is a vision of Persephone in an essay by Carolyn Cushing. We have been marking the wheel's movement. We've investigated the gifts the dark can bring. Now we emerge from the dark and enter the light, out of introspection and into action, and continue to make our efforts towards balance. In mid-February of 2016, Carolyn stood on the dike along a bend in the Connecticut River, watching the ice floes come down from the north. First, there was just the sludgy, half-submerged chunks with their edges clinking together in the surface water. Then whole islands of white snow took their place and set a new pace for floating towards the sea. Finally, and faster now, continent after continent came around the river bend with a deep slicing of ice in the water, sounding that kind of roar that is both huge and nearly silent. The sun had done its work on mountains and ice pack. Winter was losing its hold. The sun set salmon in the icy flows towards sky streaks, and a nearly full moon rose opposite in a light blue sky. Carolyn writes, I felt the season shift in my cells. An image rose in my mind's eye of the Greek goddess Persephone, climbing out of the underworld to take her place on one of those ice floes and lead the parade towards springtime. When Persephone's story is told, we hear how the innocent girl, Kore, was picking flowers when the earth opened up and out rode Hades to kidnap this beautiful maiden and take her into the underworld. The details of how brutal the abduction and Kore's role in what happens varies depending on who tells the tale. But once in the underworld, the stories align to show that young girl transform into the woman Persephone, meaning she who shines in the dark, or bringer of destruction, again, depending on who you ask. And she tends to the dead who dwell with her in compassion. She steps into her role as Queen of the Dead. On earth, the grief of Persephone's mother, the goddess Demeter, is so great that the ripples cause the plants and crops of the earth to die. Worried that humanity would soon be wiped out, the other gods convince Hades to let Persephone return to her mother. But oh dear, those pomegranate seeds. Demeter and Persephone's reunion is ecstatic. Now ripples of joy bring that life back to earth. But because of she ate the food of the underworld, Persephone must return there for a period of time each year. Images of Persephone emerging from the underworld show her as a young, beautiful woman because, of course, she was the first time when she emerged. But on that day, on the banks of the Connecticut River, Persephone must have been making her multi-billionth trip out of the underworld. The passage of time must have marked her. These reflections inspired Carolyn Cushing's poem, Fresh from Death. Necklaced in the lays of the dead, dressed in the dark mold skirting with hair tangled her worms, seeds in her belly unseen, the only slip of color red. No longer young, not now beautiful, Persephone climbs from the underworld. A crown of dirtied light and each prong a plow, driven an eternity of times through the frozen earth to find the shoots where sap is siren, sighing, come. Bruised arms, legs shake, wake the 10,000 cells to pull her through trees' scar shaped like an owl's eye. She emerges. A river below her. Ice murmurs the surface before sinking. Banks weedy with last season's death, goldenrod stripped, pods emptied, stalks broken, along the tongueless way of water flowing south. She will make it her chariot. Find an island of white to ride. Blackbird comes to nest in her crown it's become. Water laps her toes. Her clothes are dissolving. Where she is dirt, all winter's dark. The sounds shook from the dead's goodbyes. Surrender here in the bend of the river's bluing blush. a rising takes the bank, spreads itself to slake the thirst of fields, folded now in her watery embrace.
Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul.
The Persephone, encountered on the banks of the Connecticut River, loves life and fights her way back into its realm each year. But she also is touched by and opens her heart to the dead and the dark mystery of the underworld. Persephone takes her annual leave with care, promising to come back in the fall, and in return is given gifts to take back into life. Seeds gestating in the dark to catalyze spring's return, messages from the dead to bring love into the lives of the beloved above. And the ability to shapeshift, releasing the muck and rot of the underworld that clings to her so that it may become fertile soil of the new. Persephone's great power comes from her ability to live in and honor both death and life. She captures our attention once she has put on her springtime dress, but it is her ability to wear many garments, some bright, others decayed, that show her fullness of being. She offers her power to us, invites us to meet our Persephone self, who is able to flow with both death and life. The equinoxes, where seasons of extreme touch are the perfect place to practice walking in and honoring both worlds. In fall, death seeps into the fullness of life, while in spring, life springs from death of winter and the dry stalks of last harvest. In these early days of spring here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are invited to walk between worlds. Religious celebrations such as Ostara, Passover, Easter offer communal connections and ancient traditions to follow and adapt. What personal rituals to attune yourself to the wisdom of death flowing into life might you create for yourself? When I read Carolyn's essay, I imagine that perhaps there are springs when Persephone does just burst onto the scene, radiating in her readiness. And other springs are like the vision on the banks of the Connecticut River, hard won, needing determination and tenacity, no less powerful, perhaps more so. In each world, she has loves and responsibilities. She must prepare for both departure and arrival at this time of year. She sadly says goodbye to some while anticipating reunions of others. What are your preparations? As we leave this time of the time of internal growth and contemplation, what will you put into action?
Fire and air, earth, water, fire and air, earth, water, fire and air, earth, water, fire and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fire and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. Fire and air, earth, water, 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 fire and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, fires and air, she tires and everything she touches, earth, water, changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes.
We are here to celebrate the spring equinox when light and dark are in balance. The first buds are beginning to open in the trees, seeds are germinating, and roots have awakened to push new shoots through the earth, like Ms. Cushing's vision of Persephone. Literally or metaphorically, we will be planting in a few moments. Before we do, Alana will guide you in meditation that may help you set an intention for yourself as you plant.
Get comfortable, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Take a deep cleansing breath in and out. Feel your connection to the earth below you, to the sky above you, to your brothers, sisters, and siblings around you. Now, see yourself as a seed, a single grain of wheat that was gathered at the first harvest and has been stored over the winter. Before you know it, you find yourself planted in the earth. It is dark and cool. The earth surrounds you, embraces you. Then the rains come. It soaks through the soil and it soaks into you through your hull. And as you begin to expand, you drink in the water. After the dormant time of winter, your cells become active, beginning to grow, beginning to divide. You grow so much that the seed hull can no longer contain you. It cracks open. And now you have tendrils that begin to move through the soil, questing, seeking for more water, for the nutrients you need. Although you are tiny and the earth is heavy, you are moved with persistence by the strength of the life that is in you that begins to grow. Some of your tendrils seek deep into the earth, becoming roots, moving through the earth to find the food you need to grow. The rains are over and gone. The sun is shining again. Your main stalk races towards the light and the heat, shooting up through the air, through the earth, towards the warmth that you crave. And as at last you emerge into the air, here you begin to unfold, leaves spreading wide to be caressed by the spring air, getting energy from the sun, drawing on your faithful, sturdy roots as you grow, as you embody the spring miracle of returning life. Feel how much you have changed since you were the small, hard seed buried in the earth. Feel how the elements and the power of life have enabled your transformation into a new form, one that is active and is growing. Now, slowly begin to become aware of your own body again. Feel its boundaries and its shape. Feel how the experience you have has applied to your own life and what you are trying to bring forth through that cold, dark earth into the warm spring light.
Thank you, Alana. That was beautiful. If you have seeds and soil ready, now is the time to participate in our ritual. If you don't worry, I came well prepared. I have enough seeds to go around. If you are planting, either today or in the future, think back to Alana's meditation. Think about the intentions that you have set, manifesting as your seeds take root and bloom. If you are not planting physically, visualize that seed. Close your eyes and imagine it taking root in your soul. Since we are not actually plants, we experience the process of sprouting in different ways. But one thing remains the same, the opening up. When we draw down the moon or the sun, when we draw spirit into ourselves, it is a way of planting a seed of love within ourselves. And when that love germinates and grows, it opens us from the inside out, changing us, cracking open our preconceived notions and things that were holding us back, helping us break out of the shell that had surrounded us. Think about how you want to experience that sprouting in your own life and settle on one intent. When you have that intent firmly in mind, take a few more deep breaths, and when you are ready, open your eyes and plant that seed. And don't forget to water it. Of blessed Persephone and bright Demeter I sing, goddesses fair of radiant mien, sources of life and mystery, of illusion delight, bringing forth new life from winter's night. As we process now in this sacred place, ritual as old as time and space, we honor you with voices clear and strong, ringing through the air like holy song. We present to you seeds of hope and offering, in supplication to you, goddesses of earth and spring. May our whispered prayers take roots with these seeds. May they grow strong with our words and deeds. May the scattering of sacred grain ensure that spring will come again. Kyrie goddesses, grant our prayers, carried through the fresh spring air. Inspire us always in everything. May we find you in eternity.
We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. You hear us sing, you hear us cry, now hear us call you, spirits of air and sky. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. Within our blood, within our tears, there lies the altar of living water. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. The circle closes between the worlds to mark this sacred space where we come face to face. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending.
Mother Earth, at our journey's end, may we return to rest in your loving cradle. Spirits of Earth, thank you for your presence this day. Stay if you will, go if you must. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be. Waters of life, you sustained us before birth and nourished us as we grow. Spirits of water, thank you for your presence this day. Stay if you will, go if you must. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Fire of renewal. Like a bright sun, you warm us and remain forever a guiding light. Spirits of fire, thank you for your presence this day. Stay if you will, go if you must. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Breath of life, you carry us through our lives as a constant companion to the rhythm of our hearts. Spirits of air, thank you for your presence this day. Stay if you will, go if you must. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
I stand at the turning point in the year, the pause between darkness and light. The dreaming earth begins to stir from sleep, to turn her face towards the sunlight once more. As the earth is my body, so am I the earth. The seeds that are planted now are blessed with shining sunlight, bright moonlight, and the turning towards warmer days. Our circle is open, but never broken. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.